They moved the button, that the live button used to be on the left side of... Yeah, it's live now, yeah. So, we are on YouTube Studios, right? In YouTube Studios, you have this, like, button to press to go live, of course, right? It used to be on the left side. Oh, sorry, no, Ecchi, yeah. So, and now it's on the right side. That's like, where is it? It took me like 2 minutes to find the button. Classic, man. Always with YouTube. Always changing stuff, yeah. Every goddamn time, you know. So, hello, everyone. Time. Talk about every anime coming next season. So, bam, there we go, right? A bunch of animes. Lots of anime to talk about. And we're gonna do the strategy that I feel is the most relevant strategy. We're gonna start with the most popular animes. Work our way down, right, onto like the bottom of kind of this, like, usually Kodomo shows that no one really cares about, right? So One Piece, I believe, okay, or I guess Apothecary, keep on going. But for the new animes to be coming back, then One Piece will be probably the first to talk about. But anyway, let's zoom in here. Could you go one anime by one anime? But just for argument's sake, there we go. One more, right? No, two more. There we go. So ready airing. There's that much then, but I think One Piece though is worth a course to talk about. Not only because it's One Piece, baby, obviously very famous anime. Yeah, I think people know what One Piece is, right? I'm just gonna see that the stream works correctly now, guys. So give me a second there. Sorry. Yeah, that's correct, right? Yeah, it works. Right. No, this is black screen now. It works, right? Should I see chat too? Yeah, okay, thank you. I can see the chat. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's start then. So, One Piece. One Piece, finally coming back, right? I can already see most of the internet discourse gonna be like, oh my god, look at this, there's more views than Story Level now, whatnot, right? But, I mean, yeah, it's, I think it's gonna be kinda exciting to see coming back. I would be really interested if they actually are gonna make it higher quality. What I mean, of course, is that obviously One Piece, notoriously, right, has been aired for so many years, and obviously the quality has gone down absolutely to ultimate shitpool quality. And I mean, One Piece anime is one of the worst of all time, straight up, but also really good. But I mean, the thing with One Piece is so well written, right? Obviously the manga, but with the anime, and I really have to say, I really dislike how their fans, right? How these like blind fanboys defend so much, because the way they structure One Piece, or used to at least, maybe not anymore now then, is that they have, 10 episodes, right? Which are absolute dog shit, right? Which is like, Shiriko for like 3 episodes. It's the sumo guy standing, flexing for like 10 episodes, right? And then they have 1 episode with amazing animation, like top 10 budget, right? Then everyone is like, oh my god, gushing, everyone having like orgasm, oh my god, One Piece is the best thing ever. But come on, that's terrible, right? You can skip the 9 episodes before, right? I think what especially, of course, showed that the most is the Kaido fight, where, and don't get me wrong, the manga, the Kaido fight is super long as well. So it's many chapters, right? But in anime then, obviously, it was like most of the chapter or episodes, converted to episodes, were really terrible fighting. And then it was like a few every now and then it looks amazing, right? It was like, like every 5th episode was like really good looking. So it's like, yeah, very uneven actual total value of anime, right? Now then, long point, right? Obviously, maybe it's gonna be really good now, right? Took a break, of course. Coming back here is the most popular returning or new anime coming, right? And yeah, I think everyone's hoping that they're gonna have a much higher quality. Maybe I'm just a boring, cynical old man, but I don't believe for a second, honestly. I don't believe at all, okay? Toei knows that they're gonna milk One Piece, okay? I don't for a second believe the One Piece now is gonna be much better just because it has a break now. I don't think so at all. Sure, the quality, I think the actual animation quality would be better, but like the pacing issues, I think it's gonna be exactly the same, because Toei just wants, to like milk it as much as possible. If they have like 30 chapters to make into anime, there's gonna be 30 episodes. They're not gonna stop it because they were, oh no, it's gonna break. No, the breaks on because it was so close to the manga, right? The pacing isn't gonna get better magically because they suddenly took a break for half a year. They gotta come back and have the same issue of being too close to the manga. The anime still is very, very close to the manga after this break. Right? They take a 5-year break, right? They have like a longer distance. So I honestly have like zero hope for Toei, seriously. But I think they're gonna have actual like better anime quality, right? But yeah, I think the pacing will be the same. And then of course it brings me to, of course, Vegapunk, which if you watch my One Piece reviews, right, the Vegapunk speech is like the worst part of One Piece ever. Like straight up. I don't think there's a single moment in One Piece that is as bad as the Vegapunk speech. So I am actually kind of interested to see how it's gonna go though for the anime on this, because I truly, truly hate the Vegapunk speech. It's like 13 chapters in the manga, I believe. It's incredibly long. It's really bad written. It's also the worst writing would have all time, and it just never ends. It's so boring. It just keeps going and going, and it says one thing. There's only one new info important. The rest of it is complete filler garbage in the manga, basically. So the anime is probably gonna be incredibly bad at the moment. I think we're all hoping that they're gonna, increase the pacing there and just blaze over those chapters in like 2-3 episodes. But being Toei, it's probably gonna be like 10 episodes. I mean, 37 episodes, and I still think it might actually happen that they might extend those chapters into more episodes. So yeah, it's gonna be so terrible. That being said, the dream scenario for me would be see Vegapunk does this long again speech exposition, right? They might animate that. I don't mean animate him. I mean animate what he's talking about. Talk about like Roger and Joe Boy and so on, right? Yeah, that might be a thing. Maybe they make it like he's talking and then we see them actually fighting in the past, something. That'd be amazing. That'd be like a dream for this season. But I very much doubt that, because Oda is like, no, we have to keep everything a secret. So, but that would be like the dream scenario. So maybe it's gonna be amazing, but I have my doubts. I'm very negative, but it's be realistic here. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna watch, of course. Anyway, lastly, one thing is so sad though, is that I love doing reactions to One Piece anyway. And like I said, every 10 episode is amazing, and that's really fun to react to and review. But it's like I keep getting copyright strikes every time with One Piece. Okay, like my last 3 copyright strikes have been One Piece from the same company all over again. So it is, maybe I'm making a channel, I don't know, but it's really annoying because it's basically like every time I do a One Piece, and yeah, I get like a copyright strike, like twice in a row now. So it's last time I did a One Piece reaction, I didn't show anything in the copyright, But obviously it's like it's a bit of meh reaction though. So I don't know how to do about that though. That's honestly frustrates me. But anyway, like a side note, right? Windbreaker, disappointing for me. I'm not gonna watch it. Or actually, I probably will actually watch the anime, but I'm gonna binge it probably when it's finished, right? This anime to me was really, really boring, straight up. And I feel disappointing absolutely, because if you're new to my channel, whatever, right, but if you followed me for years, I love, Yankees, obviously Gyros, Marin behind me, whatever, right? I have a deep love for the Gyros, and then after that, Yankees, right? So Windbreaker is an anime about a bunch of Yankees. If you were Yankees, a Yankee is like, like a, how would I say Yankee in English? But it's kind of like, I wouldn't say they're criminals, but Yankees are kind of like, delinquents. Delinquents, right? The delinquents are kind of like the bad boys, bad girls, right? They fight a lot, they kind of have an attitude, you know what I mean? If you watch anime a lot, you know what a Yankee is, because it's always like one Yankee and one Gyro. That's the thing for like almost every school anime. It's always one Yankee and one Gyro per class. It's like the classic formula. They're one of those each, right? It might be the same person too, yeah. You might have like Gyro Yankee, especially if they're females, pretty common, right, in our animes. But I was like really expecting to like this anime, right? Because it's a bunch of Yankees, like I said, and the opening is great and so on. But no, I think it's an incredibly overrated anime, because it's basically just fighting. And I know it might sound paradoxical, because don't you expect a lot of fights from the Yankee animes? And you kind of do, but this anime is like pure fights. It's just like you go to like a theater and just fight people for like 10 episodes. It's just super boring. And the fights aren't that good either. But I think the worst part of the anime, and again, I really don't actually like this anime honestly that much. I just kind of forced the big shit after it was over. It's just like, it is kinda boring characters. That's the main thing. Yeah. With Windbreaker, they're all like dislikable characters, right? And I have seen like every Yankee anime that's ever been done. I think like literally every Yankee anime, seriously. And this might be the most boring cast of characters ever been done in this sort of sub-genre, right? You have animes that have like Beelzebub, where they're all like hilariously crazy people, you know what I mean? You kind of love them, they're kind of likable douchebag kind of guys, right? What is this thing here? What is this thing here? I don't like a single character. They are super bland, super boring. I don't care about a single person of them, and they immediately have like just 10 episodes of fighting, and I'm just like, I don't care about anyone at all of them, you know? It reminds me of Tokyo Revengers, where I also think the anime also should have been a little better at this, but actually, and I really mean this thing, even though how much I shit Tokyo Revengers for the years, right? I like Tokyo Revengers more than Windbreaker, because at least, like, you know, Draken, he's freaking likable. Mike is likable. I kind of like some of the bad guys, you know, in Tokyo Revengers. At least I kind of care about some of the characters, right? The worst part, obviously, is the main character, Takamichi. Yeah, obviously, the main character. He's the worst character, yeah. If you had Tokyo Revengers without Takamichi, it would be a good anime, yeah, obviously. But Windbreaker, I don't like a single character anime. So actually, yeah, I think Tokyo Revengers is a better anime, like straight up. Way more enjoyable. Anyway, Fire Force. Now I wish I had an image of. Okay, we need to go and find it. Okay, we need to go and find it. Take. We need to go and find it. Taka. I mean, Minaide, Takamiki crying. We need to go and find her crying here. So you can find her here. We need to have an image of her crying, guys. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Here we go. Everyone's episode 8. Episode 8. Here it is. We need to look at this image. This is the greatest image of anime of all time, right? This is, okay, it's a bit of bad resolution, but whatever. So, Fire Force, right? A fantastic anime. A fantastic anime with great fan service. Honestly, this is the time. This is the time, right? Like the only time in my life when I was like, maybe fan service is a bad thing. Fire Force is so interesting because it's like the only anime that I ever felt like, you know what? This actually is just stupid now. Yeah, like she's just like has this super sad crying scene, and then the guy grabs her tits and is like, "Oh no, boob action!" And you're like, "What?" Yeah, this is the only anime that I ever felt that fan service was not good. Yeah, because it's so in the face, right? But I want to point out here that I think a lot of people dropped Fire Force here. I did as well. I didn't drop it. I was like, I'm kind of out of it, right? Since 2 started airing, I was like, whatever. But then I kind of got into 2 after it aired for like a half the way, and I was like, my god, the 2 is amazing. So I was like, oh my god, you know, Fire Force 3, I think will be one of the best anime comedy season. And I blame this scene here. And of course, generally, Takamaki is just lucky off by scenes all the time, and panzer flying all the time. The people that dropped this anime were actually one of the best ones in anime. So 2 is really, really good. I'm just like, my god. But of course, it keeps being like weird sex stuff with her object torch. She's in the tunnel, she drops her panties, and she's an enemy that she shows her bust all the time, and it's super weird. She fights one guy, and she loses her bra in the fight, and her own clothes burns up and everything. So it's like, she's the dumbest, worst character of all time. You know, even if I like fan service, this is so overkill. But seriously, Fire Force 2 was really good. But people probably didn't see it. I mean, a lot of people didn't see it because of this character, right? It is really fascinating. And I'm making a video actually for my April Fool's joke video, and it's going to be about this thing, fan service, but she's a good example of it, so it's going to be fan service focused. But yeah, it's she's kind of ruined the whole anime. It's just so interesting. I'm sure the anime would have been actually quite popular. I mean, more so. I mean, it's somewhat popular, but I mean, it would be much more popular if it wasn't for the absurd fan service scene, right? But anyways, 2 is really good, even though we have naked cats all the time. And it sounds weird to me to say that. I was like, I should like it, but it's like, no, that scene is like the worst fan service scene of all time. And obviously you have a bunch of ecchi animes, right, that are just like fan service all the time. But those animes are supposed to be fan service, right? And of course you have fan service in like whatever, One Piece, Dragon Ball, whatever, Bulma, so yeah. It's always been like that. But I never see it in that way where it's like, oh, she's crying in a sad moment scene, and then it's like, oh, boob action. And you're like, it is so off-putting, and you really wonder what the author is doing. You know, it's like, what? And yes, it keeps going like that too. Yeah. It's like 5 more of those in season 2 as well, honestly. And but last thing about it though, I will say though, maybe it's like maybe you should used to it, but I think that interesting enough, I suppose, after kind of getting back into Fire Force, after that scene, and still being okay, I'm gonna watch it anyway. After after 10 weeks first, I can binge it, and I was like, damn it, yeah. Now I kind of like actually, I don't. It's like you can like expect it to happen, Like if your brain is like, I guess there'll be a lot of weird sex scenes with her. Okay, whatever. You kind of like, my brain is ready for it. Then it actually gets better too, because you're like, oh, she dropped her pants again. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, of course her bra burned off. Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, you kind of like, whatever. you kind of used to, you kind of like expect it to happen. I guess it's like, yeah, of course. That's what happened. It gets better too. Anyway, now we got a bunch of isekais or reborn. This is called season 1 here. Yeah, I like it's called season 1 immediately. So they have already booked it for another season. But, honestly, just like in every goddamn season, we're gonna have a bunch of isekais, right? And I love Konosuba, Mushoku Tensei, Zero, whatever, right? I mean, with my Rem, here she is, of course. The Rem's always with me. Oh, that's what I mean, blue hair girl. So, I like, isekais, right? I think isekai is arguably like the best genre in anime, right? But I don't know why I mean having to explain the thing, right? But every time, of course, every season you get like, this is kind of how every season is, right? You get like 10 isekais, and 9 of them are garbage and 1 is good. That's basically the anime. That's basically how animes are. Yeah, you kind of get so many bad isekais, and then there's like a few good ones there. Was it not of course not this season, but it was last year, right? Last year we had an amazing isekai season where it was like Konosuba and Zero at the same time. That was like crazy. I was like, oh my god, I love this anime so much. There's so many good isekais, and they're airing on the same time. It's like the pinnacle of isekai, And actually, I just rewatched Isekai Quartet last week. Guys, binged through it while playing some games. And it's still, I think, really enjoyable. Isekai Quartet, if you see it, I think it's carried hard though, of course, by Konosuba. Most of the jokes are still centered around like darkness being pervy or whatever, yeah, Megami being explosive and so on, right? But whatever, I really enjoy it, so I don't hate isekais, but Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a terrible anime. But let's be honest here, this sounds like a terrible anime. And I'm like, is it actually isekai? He's just reborn in the same world or whatever. I mean, okay, so some people are gonna be angry at me now. Someone's gonna tell me that I'm wrong, because I guess this guy technically isn't isekai. This is a reincarnation anime. He is reborn as, like this super awesome kid with the power of a god or whatever. But I guess he died in the same world. So he's like, it's kind of like, for example, Misfit or whatever, Arnold's, right? He actually is like reincarnated into his own world again or something. So he's not technically an isekai. It's just like a reincarnation anime. But we all know what's going to happen, right? It's the same anime over and over again. This guy was, God King 10,000 years ago. He then died, and now he's reborn or whatever. Who don't care? And now he's reborn as this kid with like, OP powers, right? And he got a hot girlfriend. It's like an elf, probably. Obviously, he got a hot mom too, so that's pretty good though. Yeah, he's like Arnold, so his mom is smashable. Dad is like the generic Osan character, and a bunch of party members with 2 other waifus that also wants to, get him off in the bedroom. This is every reborn anime ever, basically. I'm probably gonna check it out anyway, but it's like, I'm just gonna admit it, right? I feel like nothing for these animes now. It's been done to death, and I understand. This has already been done for that 3 years ago. And that's why we keep getting this, I'm a sword now, I'm a vending machine or whatever. That's what these animes are coming in, right? Because I thought about it, I think 2 years ago, maybe about it. But it's like, basically, you are moving, right, from the, straight isekais. We play it straight. I don't mean like in a sexual, but straight, like in play it straight. And these are isekais, like for example, Zero, where it's just like the guy who gets there, and he has to fight stuff or whatever, right? Then we have Konosuba, which is like the layer 2 on it, where it's like, well, it's kind of plays it straight, but they still have like level cars. Like Megumi has her like, oh, I only put explosive magic or whatever, right? So it isn't actually like 100% anymore like just a normal like Isekai because they have levels from a video game, right? That's kind of layer 2 of this like meta of Isekais, right? But then we have these number 3, which are kind of like, oh, we're reborning it and leveling up, and then we have the 4th layer, right? Which kind of like, oh, I'm a sword now, I'm a spider now, where they kind of like take usually video game logic from the 2nd phase, but also combine it with some kind of weird, oh, actually, I'm a dog now because, But I can say it again. I think I understand why that I'm a sword now. It's actually a good anime. I like sword, yeah, it's a good anime. Why it's not popular, right? Or why it keeps increasing not anime is because when I see this thing here, right, which I would label as like level 3, right, like phase 3 or whatever, of Isekais, of the layers, I'm usually like, oh man, I've seen like 1,000 animes like this, right? Yeah, it's like, okay. And the worst thing is that this might be a good anime, right? This might be a good anime. Maybe it's really well written. Maybe it has fantastic main characters, whatever. But from the trailers and from just the premise, like, it's generic. Generic bitch, yeah. It's generic. But whatever, let's go on. Red Airing, same thing there, generic. Now, this is an obvious, like, romcom. If I ever seen one. Can we still stay best friends? This is basically like, how do I translate this thing? This is like, can a boy and a girl be friends? That's kind of what the title is. Yeah, can you? Like, Danyo, like, can a boy and a girl be friends or something? Without being lovers, or whatever, how you translate it. But basically, right, these two are, besties. They grew up together, and they're not dating, they're just besties. I mean, these are like the most obvious premise ever. Obviously gonna fall in love with each other, and they're gonna reunite. They were besties when they were kids. Now they meet again when they're older, and they're obviously not gonna try to sleep with each other. That was a generic childhood best friend romance ever. I'll probably check it out, but yeah, again, not very exciting. I'm like, yeah, whatever. 300 Slimes, obviously, it's the super famous voice actor. She does everything. She has several children. Got a dragon waifu. It's a pretty decent isekai. I guess the first time I was talking about earlier in that like layer phase 2 thing, right? Because Asuma so one, because obviously there's levels here. It's a gaming system, right? She basically grinded by defeating slimes for so long. She's like the strongest mage ever. And then how I explain anime. Basically, she grinds up first, and then it just moves a lot of years, I guess. Yeah, she just kept doing it for 300 years, and nothing really happened because she was just happy to like escape her, I guess, like boring, like day job in Japan, in Tokyo, or whatever. Right? She was like having a really bad time, typical overworked salary worker kind of woman. She was like, oh, I'm finally free, and then she basically just grinds, she just grinds, right, for the first episode, and then the anime kind of starts. And now she's like the strongest god ever. So it definitely is an overpowered isekai anime, right? She's like the strongest person ever. Because again, she grinded for so long. And she has like her daughters, her slime girls. And she literally marries like a dragon lady that fights her because her wife and so on. So it's like a cute anime. But basically the premise, right? This is the anime where she's overpowered, but she doesn't actually want to fight, right? She's not like the other OP isekai characters when they go around and just, conquer the planet, whatever. She's kind of like, nah, I just want to live in peace with my family. I got my daughter, she got my wife. I just want to, like, have a farm here and leave me alone kind of thing. And she keeps getting dragged into fights all the time, you know what I mean? And also everyone. So it's a pretty decent isekai, but it's like a mixture of that typical, how we call it, relaxation anime, Ishiki, whatever it's called. I remember it. Basically, I was reborn and now I'm just living a nice life from my terrible day job, plus that overpowered, yeah. But a pretty good isekai. This, of course, has been delayed. I have reviewed and reacted to 2 of this thing, and I started watching the first episode. It was delayed, I think, like 3-4 times now. So you should have like zero hope for Alice and Isekai and so on. Of course, Alice is voiced by the artist herself, Sora, or Aqua then. So I've seen it in the course, but it's honestly, this anime has been delayed now like 5 times. So the quality was really bad when it's returned. But basically, it's like a Romeo and Julia storyline where she's Julia, he's Romeo when they're fighting each other. So instead of being, what are they? political merchant party, I guess, in Italian, right? Here instead, she's like the daughter of the queen, of course, in one country. He's this like super knight of another country in having war, and they fell in love with each other, blah blah blah. It's that kind of storyline. And they kind of meet up again in like a neutral country the first season, where for some reason this tiny country between them. Now then, we get some ecchi anime, man. Her face is covered over the text there. This looks weird now. I can't show her only pants there. Come on, text go away. I wanna. Okay, I can't. There we go. Okay. So this anime definitely look forward to, right? Having a thumbnail, of course. It is this really weird ecchi anime where basically the female main character can time travel. Okay, something like that. Right? She's over. You know, how say it? She's a typical. I guess class president, you know, I want to have perfect grades, right? And then she can time travel by being ecchi, by being, you know, thirsty, and by doing that, she can, like, you know, do the test better or whatnot, right? She can cheat, basically. And obviously, she wants to have perfect grades, right? There is a guy that she can time travel with if she gives him his panties or whatever, or, like, shows her ass to him or something. That is super stupid storyline. I mean, I love it. It's so stupid. I love it. This is so stupid. This is so anime, yeah. She's just like, oh, I can time travel, but I have to show this guy my ass, and then we time travel. Yeah, then we're gonna do it. He gonna look at my pantsuit, and then we can time travel. I gotta like show him my my underwear or whatever, and then we can time travel. It's the dumbest premise ever. Like, so obviously this is gonna be the best anime next season. But I mean, it sounds stupid. It's obviously ecchi, right? It's obviously a lot of fan service. And obviously, you know, she's gonna fall in love with the guy. He's gonna like her. I mean, she's hot, right? So yeah, of course. And she's like the, you know, the ultimate smart and hot girl kind of thing, right? You know, the top cheerleader kind of character. So of course, he's gonna be happy that he has this weird time traveling shenanigans with her. It's a classic, you know, romance with like the nerd guy, you know, magically then gets to date the hot chick right there, the ultimate woman in the town, basically. But yeah, it's again probably a pretty funny anime. I'm definitely gonna check it out though, but. It is one goddamn weird anime, certainly. But I do love it, though. The premises are so stupid. Now, of course, it probably won't go deeper than that. You know, it's a bunch of sex jokes. Yeah, it won't go deeper than that. Yeah, she can travel back in time into linear. Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, it's so stupid. Anyway, I got another useless hero anime. I actually discussed it with my coworker actually yesterday. I think it's kind of fun because he mentioned it to me too that this has also become like a typical huge trope these days too, right? That they banish someone. Yeah, and I first saw that in Banish from the Hero Party, which actually I think is a pretty underrated anime. Actually, kind of liked a lot actually. With 2 seasons now, yeah, season 2. And one thing talking about ecchi fan service, that anime, Banish from the Hero Party, it's super sexy. Yeah, like that anime is crazy ecchi. I feel like I'm the only one that directed the anime, but it's one scene in that anime, Bad Body, with obviously then, you know, Sora again, right? Aqua is voiced in this hot elf chick, and she and the main female character in this, like, I guess it's like a lake or something, but they basically get naked for like 20 minutes. It's like this incredible scene, like incredibly ecchi. They have like they're like just talking in this lake for the whole episode. And they're both like not wearing anything, and we keep seeing their boobs. I mean, obviously covering them very, very so slightly with it's a mist covering her tatas or whatever. But it's like for like the whole episode, you're like, wow, this thing anime is crazy. And one thing I liked also with Bachelor Hero Party is the two main characters. They do it immediately, yeah. Like they live together, running a potion store, right? And she's like, yeah, we're gonna F now. And she's basically, yeah, we're gonna sleep together right now, episode 1, basically. I like that, you know. The anime is really great, and that's something about it. Because it's actually one of the few animes where the main character is this, like, you know, banished, super amazing healer. Yeah, it's the same thing. But he actually gets laid immediately. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I got my waifu with me, you know. There's no like, oh, we're gonna date for 5,000 episodes. No, they have, like, they have intercourse episode 1, basically. Or 2 at latest in the anime. Between 1 and 2, yeah, basically. But I don't know. This definitely has become like a super trope now too. Oh, I'm banished because I'm just the best healer or something. But who needs healing? You know, who needs healing in an adventure against dragons? Yeah, we just need DPS, man. We need 10 DPS in our party. We don't need a healer and no tank, man. So he gets fired, right, from the hero party, and then instead becomes like a doctor, and then he runs a hot nurse chick in him running like a doctor. He's actually the best healer or something. I mean, literally, this has become like another trope, right? Oh no, I got fired. It's because I was the best healer or something. Oh no, like I can't do anything anymore. I'm just gonna like, yeah. Oh, it's so stupid. Jesus Christ. Anyway, this of course is already airing from previous. No, that's that many. Whatever. Okay, this guy. I'm just tired of it. This is another trope. Okay, this guys is another trope. I think we start seeing right now, which are the Osan adventure. Right? We had it, of course, last year with Osan. I'm too old to be an adventurer with the S-tier party. We had Osan Parry. This is like Osan Swordmaster. He has like an Ares with him that looks like Ares straight up, right? So he got the Mushitanshi harem. That is another Mushitanshi cat. he got like mostly the Mushitanshi harem, nice. But he kind of looks like Soldatu. So yeah, okay. But anyway, this is also becoming a trope now, right? Here we have an older man. Oh my God, this guy is like 40 or something. He's dreamt his whole life to become the greatest swordsman of all time, but he never had a chance. But now finally he managed to be an adventurer. And then he's like an old man, and he got like 4 wives with him. They're like 20, he's like 45 or something. And they're all gonna love him because he's like old and wise, and it's gonna be, he's super hot, yeah. You can smash these young chicks or whatever, I mean? It's like, yes, awesome. But honestly, this again to me is already feeling very generic now. His personality is gonna be, as I said here, right? His personality, and see the trade immediately. I think it says perfect here, humble old man. Yeah, I'm covering the end, sorry about that, but yeah, I think that's like the issue, right? I think primarily these animes is that they basically all are that. They're all of them are humble old men, right? This is like I said, he's like, late 40s, maybe 30s. That's kind of the joke in the older Osan anime. He actually was only 31 or something, but they kept calling him like old man. Like, I'm only 30. What is wrong with you guys? I've been like, I'm latest mid 30s. Like, what's wrong with you? How I don't look that old? And that feels to it, right? But certainly, this trope is that they're always humble old men. Yeah. I kind of want to say an anime where they're douchebags. Okay, I want to say a non-humble. I want to have an Osan Isekai, right? Where the guy's a douche. He's like, I hate young people. You're all stupid. You have no experience. I'm the boss here now. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I want to have that character. He's going around being like, I hate everyone. This is what we do now. Yeah, that would be hilarious. That'll be a different take on it, certainly. But seriously, I mean, generally, all these animes are all the same, right? If I go over here, you can see this humble old anime. These animes are all the same. They're all the same. Seriously. I have seen like 3 of these now. Osan animes. And his personality to be exactly the same. Like the other 3. He's a humble old man. Always dreamt of being a hero. And now he finally can do it. And he got the actual potential skills. Right? He was hold back for super reason. Now he's out there. And it's him and like, a bunch of hot chicks, right? They're like half his age. And they're all gonna fall in love with him because he's like this super wise old man. And he's very, very powerful, yet he's super humble, right? It's the same thing over and time. It's just sketchy about it. Assassin's Creed now, yeah. He's like, oh yes, I happen to be the strongest man on this island, but I'm so humble. Anyway, Jesus Christ, man, I'm bored by just reading the text here. Now, here we go, though. Oh, here we go. Anime. This, of course, is the best anime coming, guys. This is the anime, guys. Oh, God, we need to have a bit of image of anime. This is the best anime coming. Obviously, you see the thumbnail. Dogokobo's doing it. They're amazing studios, so they know what they're doing. Oh, yeah, Dogokobo. They tend to do cute stuff. I see the trailer. There's a woman riding him off immediately. Yeah, great. We can't show that image. And that's his sister in... I'm trying to find an image. It doesn't look like hentai. Like, seriously. I Google it and immediately it's like, oh, yeah, it's all hentai. Okay, no. I'm just kidding, guys. But it's... seriously, some of the images are probably too risque. Oh my God, this one is pretty good. She's bending over with her tits in his face. Okay, that's that, like when I expect, right? Yeah, this one. Oh yeah, this one, man. This one. Oh, here we go. No, that's the one she's riding him. Jesus Christ! I'm trying to find an image. I'm genuinely trying to find an image. I'm trying to find an image of this anime that looks... Okay, I like they already have like a figure of the character. That's what I already say too. They already have like a figure of his sister. You can already buy her. Yeah, she already has like a sexy figure. She's sitting down with her giant ass. That's just hilarious. They know the anime is gonna sell. Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, that to me is kind of crazy. They know the anime is gonna sell so much that they're already selling like figures of this character. But I'm talking about. So we go with this image then because I can't find another image that isn't like super. Okay, Jesus Christ, no, that was stuck on that thing too. Why is it so hard for? And I mean hard is that was not an intentional joke. No, like why is it so hard for? Seriously, I can't find that image. That image that wasn't working. That was the wrong format. Jesus Christ. I think quintuplets girls appear sometimes too. Okay, we go with this one then. We're going with this one. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one here. No, that's too. Oh, this is this one I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Okay, it's a TikTok. Maybe it's gonna work. That image. How big is it? No. My God, sorry about this. Why is it so hard for? Like, this is seriously harder than like watch. Oh, whatever. We go with this one. We go with this one. This has to work. This is a little more boring. Okay. This is a little more boring, guys. But we go with this one. This one's super hard to find. Seriously, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to like find this image, right? I was trying to find this anime without suddenly getting hentai on the screen, basically. Like seriously, I'm not making a joke, guys. Like seriously, I just googled the name of this anime. Okay, I just googled the name of the anime, right? And half the images of the actual anime is basically like, you know, oh, the blue-haired chick is like riding him or something. Or it's not actually as, you know, an intercourse scene, but it looks like kind of nice, you know. Obviously, that's a joke, right? So yeah, you're like, okay, I can't show those scenes. Jesus Christ! And then the other scenes were like head or something. Yeah, and the others are probably fan art or something. Like actual the scene is. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, this is obviously the trash anime of all time, right? This is gonna you see the woman there, right, with the brunette there. She's bending over. She's gonna attack the main character with her tatas, right? She's gonna slap him with her boobs, basically. That's his sister, guys. Okay, that's his sister. Yeah, of course it is. This is the trash anime of all time, right? The art of this anime is, of course, none other than Rent-A-Girlfriend's art, right? One of the worst anime of all time. Jesus Christ, Rent-A-Girlfriend is so incredibly bad. Kazuhaya, the ultimate simp, right, is one of the worst, most disgusting I've seen in my life. He's so annoying. Jesus goddamn Christ. And this anime then is, you know, his new anime, where of course basically it's just like the guy dating his like 5 sisters, right? And I used to have to show it here. I love it. I love this so much, this anime. The anime hasn't even started yet. They're already selling figures, like hot figures of his sisters. Yeah, you can see here, right? You can already buy the figures. She got that, like, you know, going. Up here a bit. She got like that. Yeah, like the image under me there. It's like kind of like her. You know, you see her. The image I'm covering is actually kind of the best one, of course. So if I remove a camera, yeah, this is another image here for her ass. It's like a giant buttocks. So I'm not even gonna show you guys. Yeah, but it basically is like underneath me here, she got like a gigantic, you know, her ass is like massive on the third image there. So I love it. Yeah, I love it. Like seriously, like, this anime, you know, immediately right, we're getting an anime about a guy. Where was it here? This dating his sisters, but of course actually not all related by blood. They were actually just like, you know. He grew up with them, and suddenly his dad and mom were like, well, actually, you were not related by blood for some reason. You were adopted or something, but these 5 girls are all your sisters, and now you can sleep with each other or something. That would be expected. So it really is Rent-A-Girlfriend's author. Like, it's just so... I love it, man. This guy is like, how can I make an anime that is even worse and more trashy than Rent-A-Girlfriend? Oh, I know. Incest. Oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah, and like I said, right, I love it. They're already selling all the girls in like super sexy figures, like, oh yeah, like Ecchi hen figures with them already, official ones, even before the anime starts. Because normally what happens, right, from a merchandise standpoint, normally what you see is that they will, you know, make a manga, right? If it sells good enough, they make an anime, and obviously if the anime sells good enough, then they start making figures. Like I said, but the market figure here, right? Very rarely will they make like figures before the anime has started airing. Usually, it's very, very hard to buy a figure while the anime actually is live, right? You have to basically wait 6 months after the anime. So usually for me, right, so I buy all the figures. You like an anime, you buy the figures, and you have the figures basically for the next season, right? That's kind of how it is. Yeah, you buy them. It takes a few months to get them and whatever. So usually you have to buy them, like, pre-order them. You have to wait for like a few months and everything, and then you get it like season 2, but it arrives. It is kind of like that. And these animes, like, nah, we already have a stock of waifu figures here immediately. Yeah, we already have his sisters naked for you. Don't worry, guys. We already made them. Yeah, we know you're gonna buy them. So that being said, though, I suppose in so many cases it happens really quickly. Isekai-san, whatever, right? This is like really popular. I think this power figure here was probably released almost exactly the same with the anime. So obviously, if you have a manga that's very, very successful, it might happen. But I don't think the anime actually is that. I actually don't really think so. No, I don't think this like perverted sister anime actually is that successful. But I don't think it is. I mean, certainly it's gonna, sell numbers now and it's gonna make money or whatever, but I don't actually think it's that popular to some extent, comparably. I think it's probably, honestly, it's probably more about that Rent a Girlfriend is so popular. Yeah, that's probably it, right, honestly. Aside from here, I guess it is that more that because Rent a Girlfriend has had new season coming in 3 months from now, next season, we're gonna have 4 of Rent a Girlfriend, Kanyo, and that manga has gone pretty golden for them. So that's probably why they're already like making merchandise and so on of the sisters, because they're like, yeah, it's gonna sell like hot cake, right? Like the hot sisters. So I guess so, yeah. Well, yeah. One last thing, it also he has a brother. Yeah, he has a brother too. It's like 5 sisters, 5 waifus, right? And then he has like a brother. I'm guessing he's gonna smash brother too, right? Yeah. Am I the only one? You can see the image here. The brother setting up there, okay? That's his brother, okay? So he has 5 hot sisters, right? Nia-chan and so on. This is obviously the older one. Yeah, this one, the brunette, is obviously the oldest one. She obviously is the wife. Yeah, she's the older sister, mommy character, clearly. She probably raised him, Honestly, okay, I haven't guessed here. I haven't seen the anime, right? And I also see the trailers, but I haven't like seen the anime yet. Of course, I will. It's the best I'm coming. But I think we can easily guess who they are, right? So this one here, she's obviously is the mommy character, older sister mommy, but she's probably more a mom character because their parents probably are absent or whatever. She probably is the one that cooked food for him and raised him. So she's gonna have an older, like much older sister, hot mom character. This one here is obviously the nerd. She got blue hair, like Sailor Mercury, and glasses. She's the nerdy girl, right? This is the tsundere, obviously, kind of extrovert tsundere. This one here is that kind of genki, annoying. She's a shinobu in Love Hina. She's like, oh my god, Onishan! She's the one that's gonna jump into his bedroom and like jump on top of him and he sleeps or whatever and throws a pie at him. Yeah, she's the crazy, aloof shinobu character. And then here's the Shizuka, the shy girl. Yeah, she's the shy one that's really into her brother, but she can't admit that she wants to sleep with him. That's her, right? And this one, obviously, again, is overbearing, kind of older sister. She's gonna be the one that's most open and sexual with him. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mommy's sister is gonna be the one that's most openly like, oh yeah, I want to do it, right? And then lastly, again, we have the brother over here. The brother is probably an Otokonoko, right? Probably a crossdresser, yeah. Like, seriously, am I the only one? The brother is probably gonna try to sleep with the main character too, right? Yeah. The brother will obviously be like either, gay or trans or something, and also be in the party. I hope so, at least. I mean, yeah, I hope so. If you're gonna make an anime, we have this incredible incest storyline. You have 5 sisters, all like super attractive, super into their brother, and for some reason there's also another brother that no one likes. Honestly, isn't that sad? Right? Look at the image here. You have the main character and his, again, 5 sisters. Then you have the 6th, like the 6th sibling for him, which is not a woman, and he stands on the corner like super tiny. That to me is really weird. So these 5 girls all want the same brother. They all want the same guy, right? And everyone ignores the second brother. That seems really mean. So the only way they can make sense, right, in this anime, to have this, like, incest family, is to have the brother also being a woman in the end, right? Yeah. A typical hen man. But seriously, that to me actually makes the most sense from a story aspect. That, of course, the only non-female sibling is also into him, right? Yeah, he's like be gay or whatever, but trans, gay, Otokonoko, something like that. That's gonna be weird to me. It'd be sad, man. What? No one liked the other brother? Do you want to do the other one? Yeah, it's terrible family. But anyway, Oh my god, here we go. This is the best anime coming though. Actual best anime coming, guys. Hot elves. Hot elves! Okay, this is the best anime coming series. This is the anime I'm looking forward to the most, right? First of all, you know I love Yandere. I think Yandere is hilarious. Yeah, just stabby. Yanderes are awesome, right? So we're gonna have this anime here called Yandere Dark Elf, right? So basically, the main character, right, he goes to know the world, he says it, whatnot, whatever, and then he goes back to Earth, you know? Kind of like Isekai Oji-san or whatever. So he goes back to Earth, right? But unlike Isekai Oji-san, with Sundre Elf, just angry all the time and stuck in her world, right? This dark elf, again, she's Yandere. She's like, oh no, you don't go back anywhere. She follows it, she stalks the main character back to, of course, Earth, and it's like, I will be your wife. He's like, no, go back to, you're an elf woman, you can't be on Earth. People are gonna wonder, like, I am your wife, right? She's gonna try to get with the main character regardless, yeah. She's like stalking him to Earth. And refuses to leave his house or whatever, yes. And then of course she got ridiculous, you know, up eyes, and her tits are gigantic. She's super thirsty all the time, but she's seriously Yandere. So I'm like, yeah, this is good, man. Because okay, this time obviously is very very ecchi, so I can't just show you like all the scenes or whatever because you know YouTube, family friendly show here. But I actually really do like this character design because you know she is obviously very very attractive. But she's an actual Yandere, you know? She's an actual Yandere character. I mean, I really like... here we go. This image is a great sample of it. This actually, I think, is going to be one of the best anime coming genuinely because, again, I like Yandere. It's almost a parody on Yandere. She's like an amazing, you know, hot, like, elf chick. But, you know, he's like, yeah, leave me alone, right? Because she got this, like, weird, you know... Yep, sorry about that. Give me a second. Yes. Oh, there we go. It's back. I gotta fix the angle of it. Sorry about that. Yeah, disconnected for some reason. Just the better. So yeah, I think this will be one of the best anime comics, right? Seriously. So we got super hot, like 10 out of 10. Ultimate hot dark elf chick, right? And everyone knows, I see him with Ghislaine shirt, the miracle. Everyone knows the dark elves, right? The typical like tanned hot chicks in anime are the best characters. So the idea, this woman is 10 out of 10, right? Then she got gigantic up eyes, you know, great ass, and she's a perfect body. So genuinely like a 10 out of 10 woman, right? From a physical standpoint. But she's a mental insane Yandere character. She's gonna live with this main character, right? She's gonna stalk him, force him into his house, and constantly try to R him, right? So it's gonna be this like ridiculous joking trope where the main character is like, oh my god, she's the hottest woman ever. She's the ultimate female, but at the same time she's mentally insane. It's the hot, you know, hot crazy scale to the extreme, right? But actually, I really do like how they draw her to in the anime. She isn't just like a super thirsty elf, right? No, she actually looks like she's completely insane sometimes, yeah. She has a mixture of, you know, oh, hello, honey, and like, you better get in your bed. She clearly has mental, she's an actual Yandere. So I think it's gonna be really funny that, you know, she's like completely nutcase, right? To some extent. And obviously she's gonna be a good wife as long as he like does what she wants, you know. She's like a dangerous. He's like being stuck with a psychopath in your house. And she's like, as long as you do what I want, fine, you know. It's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be hilarious. And again, she looks ridiculous, funny, right? And of course, some of the jokes gonna be that. You know, anyone else would be like, oh my god, I'm married now to the ultimate woman of all time, so why am I complaining, right? It's gonna be like, no one can understand his plea or whatever. Basically. But, okay. Are-san, decent anime. I watched the first season. It's basically a joke about this weird short girl and her like boyfriend, basically, which is really tall. And it's mostly him like reacting to her weirdness. I don't know, it's really. I guess it's like a romcom kinda. At least I read, I don't have her name again, but this is one of the women thinks they're dating. So it's like a little bit of a romcom. They are probably kinda in love with each other. I think. I think so. A little bit. What is it called? It's not really rom. I guess it isn't really a romcom. It's almost about romance. But whatever. It's like a pretty decent comedy anime. But I wouldn't actually recommend it that much. I don't think it's bad. But for me, it's like a solid 7, you know. It's not an anime where like, oh my god, it's so fun. It's like, I mean, I laughed. I watched it. Again, this is an anime I think it's like a binge anime, you know. It kind of drops. You kind of watch through it. This definitely not an anime where I'm just like, oh my god, today is another Aren-san episode. You know what I mean? Maybe unfair, but compared to something like RC, right? You know, this Wednesday we had the final episode of Zero. When RC drops, you're like, oh my god, it's a Wednesday, it's a Zero day, you know? That kind of feeling is real, right? I think some people kind of overplay. Oh my god, it's peak day, it's Solo Level day yesterday, whatever, right? But overall, right? You know, if you really enjoy a show, right, and you're watching it, it does come to your mind. Oh my god, today is that day, right? For example, I'm watching Reacher, or it was finished on Thursday. So, you know, this Thursday, I was like, oh yeah, today's the final episode of Reacher. I've been watching it every week for 8 weeks, whatever, right? So, like, yeah, today's Reacher day, so to speak, right? They kind of make sense, right? This anime, I think, is a perfect example of I really don't care, right? Aren Day or whatever, like, who cares? But if you actually watch the anime, it is still enjoyable, you know what I mean? So I think it's like solid 7, where it's like I don't actually feel any excitement that the anime is out. I don't care if it's out on a Monday or Tuesday. I don't care to watch it over anything else. But if I have the whole episode for me, the whole binge, right, the 2 episodes for me, I can probably just watch them and, you know, yeah, but I do, yes, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, yeah, and it keeps going like that, right? So it definitely be that kind of anime where if you start watching, it's like, yeah, it's fine. So, but not really a drive for it. This is Belkun, absolutely. This is Danmashai. I asked people about it, and everyone's like, yeah, this is Belkun. Come on, Jesus Christ, but this is Belkun. So much, man. But yeah, another Isekai, you know, I'm a noob, but the host chick likes me, so generic, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, new anime from Mappa, Lazarus. Of course, Lazarus means like, you know, Lazarus Pits, right? So on Revival, it's all the whole thing in DC and stuff like that, right? So yeah, that word Lazarus, it basically means like, it's like, usually has to do with reincarnation though. Anyway, hard to say with these kind of animes, right? Mappa does a couple of original animes per year, usually. And like I always say with this thing, the strength of original anime is that the pacing usually is better. This one is in the future, so it's sci-fi. It's a little bit, you know, like neuroscience. It's kind of, yeah. So this might be a good anime. Might have a good twist. But like I said, I think overall, especially this one, it might be good because I said the level of like tempo, pacing, and stuff, right, and the twists and turns, again, are better in originals. Because of course, in original anime, you have, you know, no source material. There's no novels, there's no manga, right? So the actual, like, when you should have this, like, major reveal, let's say episode 10, right? It's gonna be on the cliffhanger. When you have this story bit, it's gonna be the 4 or 5 or whatever. So it usually works a lot better where in, like, a manga to an anime, if you wanna have this twist, to say that, right? It's like, when we have to have the twist in episode 10, let's say that for some pacing here, and then it's like, okay, well, they have to like wait for the twist. So we should have this like weird episode 9 and 10 where it's super slow paced, just to get to that moment and have a cliffhanger or whatever, right? So forth, or do you skip over stuff, whatever. So original animes tend to be the best paced overall, I think, as like a general anime average. But of course, there also exists a lot of terrible original animes as well, right? But I think original animes overall at least used to have better pacing and better structure, right? Because it's like that. So Mappa, of course, makes a lot of good anime. So this might be a good anime. I kind of like what I saw, but again, it's hard to tell though because you can't really predict that much based on the trailer. I guess it's almost like a mystery sci-fi anime. Yeah, sci-fi. So you know, it's like something like that. You know, trying to, yeah, and obviously as a lesser, so they mentioned here that death isn't eventual or whatever. So maybe people can be revived. Maybe they can something. I think with that name and talking about death and technology, it's probably something that they can maybe like, you know, either stop aging or yeah, or they can like, you know, they can, you know, zombies or something like that. It's gonna be the main storyline. Anyway, Witch Watch, I think that actually looks pretty cool. With like kind of like the typical, I say it, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, right? Yeah, kinda. You have a typical high school girl, which actually is like a medical witch. A little bit that, of course, Sailor Moon fits well, right? She can transform into her medical witch form, basically. But, you know, honestly to me, it reminds me of Sabrina, yeah. You know, it's like a 16-year-old girl that probably likes some guy at school or whatever, and she actually has medical powers and she fights them. And so, but it actually looks pretty good. I think the anime actually looks one of the better new animes. So, yeah, I think it actually might be one of the best new animes coming. and also a little bit more maybe unique or a little more original for an anime. Even though I do think it fits more like a typical, Bewitched, Sabrina, whatever, right? It does to me sound like a typical like American setting, right? Like I see it in American TV shows. But for an anime, again, like I guess it reminds me most of like Sailor Moon or whatever, like Magical Girls, where they're hiding their magical powers at school or whatnot. But yeah, it's not pretty good. And how to say it? Her name is the same name as the witch in Runaways. Yeah, actually, what is a reference to it? I don't know. Her name is same name there. Which also is in the new Spider-Man TV show, Nico. Yeah, so weird. Anyway, now here finally, this is actually so long down. I mean, I have it in the thumbnail, right? Jesus Christ, I have it in the thumbnail. I have the hot pop chick, controversial pop buttocks. But I need to have a bigger screen for this thing. This deserves a bigger screen. Surprisingly how far down this is. I mean, I didn't check like where it's ranked or whatever. But obviously, this is a My Hero Academia, spin-off. So let's bring it up here on the screen. Let's gonna find a good image. I want an image of this character. She's the best character, clearly. Oh yeah, this is a terrible resolution, whatever. It is what it is, I guess. It's terrible, but so, oh yeah, her face is coming out of it. There we go. Popsicle. So, this I think is my number one anime next season, right? From like spin-offs to go, yeah. Maybe I'm just too much of a maybe I'm just too big of a My Hero Academia fanboy, I guess, right? MMO fanboy, but this anime to me looks like one of the most interesting animes coming, right? MMO, My Hero Academia vigilantes, right? Kind of about good guys that are not official heroes, so they're fighting the bad guys in secret, right? They're kind of like some illegal guys, but they're still doing good stuff. Anti-heroes, whatnot, right? A little more brutal because of the reason, and controversial characters with showing their ass or whatever. But it's nice. I mean, I'm like, yeah. So I am surprised, honestly. Looking at the list over there, this is like ranked 20 or something. This is ranked super low. I think actually surprisingly how this anime isn't like ranked higher than the other animes. I mean, My Hero Academia was the biggest anime of all time, yeah. No, but I think it might be a really cool anime. Maybe, perhaps, it's gonna be a little strange because I haven't read it, but I know it's gonna be a little bit about like some of the other things happening, but it's supposed to kind of, go simultaneously. So I think it actually is supposed to be like season 2 maybe where this manga starts, maybe 3, and then move forward like that. So that might be a big issue actually for this anime, like honestly, that we are at of course the final season, season 8 of course, which I'm very excited for. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, finally, the final beating the bad guys, whatever. But this anime then is gonna take place from like season like 2 to like 8 or something on the same time. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a little strange because it was supposed to air on the same time, right? Technically, so it's gonna be like, oh yeah, I know what is happening. Because I think what I heard this from some people that read all the chapters is that some of the reveals and secrets in this anime, right? And so I come there, you already know, right? If you see the first, obviously, 7 seasons of the main show. So, but if you read it originally, you wouldn't, right? Because this thing would like maybe drop in like season 4. Say that, yeah. This like major thing wouldn't be revealed yet in the 4th season. So if you read those chapters, then this wouldn't be as like weird or whatever. But now it's gonna be like, well, you actually do know already who did that thing and who is the bag of that thing, or whatever. So that might be an actual like real issue that is supposed to have aired like way back. This anime should have aired like 2-3 years ago. That actually might be a thing where you're like, actually, I kind of know all this stuff here. Because I have some people my friend told me that some of the introduction of stuff in this anime has then been moved into the main story and also solved. So he's a little bit that, but I'm still excited for it. I am actually surprised it's so down there. Yeah, My Hero Academia coming back, guys, and this probably will be probably will work out well, right? They probably will have like popularity just from its being such a big show. Yeah, definitely. Her face was so weird, yes. But otherwise, I mean, what can you say, right? It's kind of what you expect, This guy, this is like Deku, of course. this is his Urukara and etc. Right, and they have quirks. Yeah, Midnight Sense is part of the thing, of course. So she's gonna be a hot chick in this stuff. Yeah, I know that Midnight Sense has like a more revealing outfit. This one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've seen that one. I've been spoiled that one. Yeah. So Midnight Sensei, right? Popular female sensei. Yeah, with interesting, teaching abilities for her students. Yeah, she has a much more like revealing outfit in this manga. So that's what I have seen. Yeah, she has a way more. I want to show it on the stream here. Oh god, this might be a bad idea here. It's like, okay, yeah, let me see if I can. It looks Midnight Sensei, because I think she has like a much more revealing outfit in this one, because this is like when it's showing her younger outfit when she was like, because I think it is that she used to be correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she used to be like a vigilante before she was before she got hired by the school, right? There's something like that. So I think it's like her I think her outfit is like way more revealing, her younger outfit that she has. Yeah, it's some. Oh, there it is. That's so loud. Oh, sorry, I'm screaming into the microphone. Yeah, but here it is. I found it. Yeah, I found it. This outfit is super weird. Like, it looks like her tits are just completely revealing or something. Okay, I can't show this scene. Or how do I describe it? But basically, her like younger outfit. Okay, this one here kind of works, I guess. But her younger outfit is crazy, which I think is really in this anime then, because she basically has normal. God, this one is weird, right? But this one works, I guess. Let's compare them. Okay, so normal, right? Midnight Sensei is a very revealing character, and she's has some pheromone powers and so forth to fight with this. And showing her butt or whatever. But yeah, she has a revealing outfit, but not extremely, and obviously kind of sexualized outfit, right? But in a vigilante outfit that new anime is gonna have, she got this other like weird outfit, which she has like, basically she got this like, she got this other outfit now instead when she was younger, vigilante with like, like a jacket and showing her midriff and yeah, and instead of having panties, she has this like utility belt from like. From like a bathroom basically, yeah. She got that like utility belt going on there, and she's wearing like I guess like a tiny kind of leather bra or something over it, and otherwise completely showing all the midriff and so on. So I look forward to this anime, right? I look forward to seeing Midnight Sensei compared to this thing here, right? Yeah, it's like whatever. Yeah, I wanna see the improved outfit of Midnight Sensei, definitely, absolutely. That's what I'm here for, guys. That's what I'm here for. Okay, what's the next thing? Oh yeah, Red Ranger coming back. Which is a pretty decent anime. I liked it. Yeah, it's coming back. Another Ecchi anime, Kakushite. So this anime, right? She's a robot, something like that. It's just like a very Ecchi anime where the main character, it's like showbiz, right? The main character has like a robot girlfriend that does everything he wants or whatever. That's why it's called up here Ecchi and sci-fi. But I don't think it's about sci-fi. It's kind of fun that they call it a sci-fi anime. But yeah, she's like an android or something, or yeah, she's like a horny android or something. But yeah, I guess it's like sci-fi, but it's mostly it has a robot waifu. Yeah, but sure. This one looks pretty decent. Like Oni, ogre fighting in Japan, right? So it's like one of those. It's called historical up here. I wouldn't necessarily call it historical, but it's kind of like Neo or whatever, right? This guy is Kijin. It's like another name for like an Oni, sort of Oni, right? So it's basically like Sengoku period, or maybe this anime is later Edo period. Is that okay? So Togo period. So it's like 17th century Japan. I guess technically also could be 18. Could be the next 100 years, I suppose. But I guess it takes place in like 17th century Japan. And, he's a cool samurai and all the stuff, right? But then also a bunch of Unis, a bunch of demons, right? Yokais. And it's cutting them through. So it looks like a decent anime, you know what I mean? Again, like I said, it looks like Neo, right? Like a samurai guy running around fighting demons in Japan, right? Like a medieval Japan. Looks pretty decent. But maybe not super unique or anything like that. Then this anime here, I'm just featuring be like a horror anime. Summer Pockets. It sounds like a super laid back anime about some girls just like going to the beach or something, just hanging out. So they probably all get murdered or something. But yeah, it's like some memory loss. I don't know. Maybe it's just super nice. But it's either gonna be just like a nice, oh, I'm just chilling on this like Hawaii or something. Yeah, Okinawa, another anime, and it's just and then it's chill, or everyone will die soon. It's just like it's either one of those two things, right? It's either one of the things, absolutely, 100%. Where are we? Oh, this is another renown. I don't care. It's Academy. This thing I just dropped, man. Yeah, whatever. That's more Kovlon. Okay, this will be interesting. So I explain this big backstory here. So Kovlon, right? Kovlon or Kowloon, maybe it's called. Kowloon in Mandarin. Whatever. So this city is an actual pleasant city, right? If you play like I did Shenmue 2 as a kid, so I played, of course, you learn everything about Kowloon. So basically, Kowloon is this like real city, or it used to be that, and it's destroyed now, in China, outside Hong Kong, that it used to be completely controlled by the triad, like the mafia, the Chinese mafia, kind of like the Yakuza, but the Chinese instead. So they controlled this whole city, this region. It was very overpopulated, and it was basically super poor, and a lot of obviously crime and prostitution. All that was extremely common there, right? And drugs and so on. And eventually, the Chinese government completely destroy the whole city, this whole region. Yeah, they just like force everyone to move away from it, and basically just bulldoze it down, literally. So this anime takes place in Kowloon then, and this will be in like the 80s or early 90s. It was destroyed in 93. So, like I said, right, if you ever played Shenmue, you will recognize city, because Shenmue takes place then in like historical Kowloon before it's destroyed, right? And like, obviously, it's a lot of criminals. But this anime then is like this really weird setting where it's like everything I said now, right, is based on actual history. And then this anime is like a love story in that or something. So it's like, okay, we're stuck in this like again, like crime mafia city in China, and they're like basically you couldn't really leave either. Okay, this is hard to explain, but because not everyone, but because the city was seen as by the government basically all being criminals or all being somewhat mafia or something like that, you also couldn't really leave it easily either. So it's kind of like you were stuck in the city, right? Because the government was like, if you leave the city, we arrest you. Basically, yeah. They were like, it's probably a mafia guy. So everyone kind of got stuck in this place, right? And also one reason why it got overpopulated. But, I mean, that's, I guess, the premise here, that these two are, like, stuck in this, like, criminal city, and then they are still doing, like, a normal work or something, and they fall in love, and then there's some bad boys or whatever. It's not like a really weird setting where it's supposed to just be like a normal workplace, but maybe there's something magic. It says sci-fi up here, so maybe there's something magic around it, but we're not going to find an image of it, because it's a very interesting historical city. So I do that called generic romance, so it's probably just like a parody, but yeah, it's called Kowloon Wall City, and it's obviously similar to like it's called Kåkstad actually in Swedish, yeah. It looks a lot like this, right? The whole city was kind of a lot like that, this city just built by, house built on house and so on, right? But if I can find an image of it, because it doesn't exist anymore. This whole city was like destroyed by the government, the whole like district. Here it is. This is how it looked back in the days. But it's a very interesting place in history. I would love to go there if I could today then, because they kept building, on top of it, right? It became this like walled-in city, and there was like criminals and so on. So it started looking like this, right? Kowloon, and you kind of see it how they just kept building and building upwards, right? Because there was no place there anymore, and it's called walled city, right? Because the government also kind of walled them in both ways, like I said, right? So if you lived in here, you also couldn't just leave it, because the government would be like, well, this guy is probably like a criminal, so we're arresting him and so on. Right? So they were like so concerned with happening there. So they were like, okay, you can't go outside. So it's kind of like what happened in the Batman, it got him in one season. But yeah, it's an interesting, special place. And now, I haven't been there, but the image of it, now it has just become this like park or something. Yeah, so you can find it. Because now it's like a city park instead. Yeah, now it's like a park belonging to Hong Kong, I think. Because it is outside Hong Kong. I believe it's outside Hong Kong a bit. I mean, I know it's at Hong Kong, but I mean, I guess it is owned by Hong Kong. I mean, the actual region. And it also is historically what happened, of course, as well, because the British Empire, controlled Hong Kong, right, for 100 years. Here it is. I found it. So it's kind of funny here, because it turned into so they destroyed the whole region, right? And now it's just like a giant park instead of this region. So it's kind of cute now, yeah. So they just they destroyed this whole region, right? This whole district, this whole and it lived a lot of people there. It's super overpopulated, yeah. So it lived like 10,000 people per square meter. Now it was very, very populated, and yeah, they destroyed everything. And now it's just like a tennis court and like football court, and it became like the biggest park in Hong Kong, or something like that. So now it's just like a giant park. But basically imagine, Central Park, something like, to be in like a criminal wall of city, yeah, beforehand, and then destroy everything. But anyway, interesting side note to history. But yeah, it's a really interesting place, I think, in China. But the anime, I honestly, I probably will, of course, watch the anime, the first episode. Yeah, I guess so, because I want to understand how this anime, relates to how the city. I have to see one episode and actually be like, okay, like how why is it in Kowloon for? Anyway, I don't know. Aggressive girl turned into a gorilla. The anime already exists, but yeah, it's a reverse horror anime. Oh, sorry. What have we now, Hen? What have we now at? Madigo. Oh yeah, I'm thirst talking about Chinese people. This is the piece anymore. Your forma, yeah. This kind of like investigation anime, light novels in the future. Think some teleporting powers, mystery powers. This is interesting. Maybe it's good. Some impressive stuff. What more do we have? I think we can at the bottom now, honestly. There's some anime I care about. Oh, Gundam. Why is Gundam in the bottom for? Oh my god, I put it in the thumbnail. Jesus Christ, Gundam. Yeah, that's true. Gundam. If you've never heard about it, pretty famous anime, yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam. Apparently it's communistic, apparently to Hassan, right? Now let's get into that. Yeah, Trash Taste is like, yeah, it's communism. I'm like, yeah, I don't really think so. But anyway, Gundam, of course. Amazing anime. I really like it. I've seen, of course, Gundam since many years past, right? I really enjoyed, of course, the latest Gundam, right? Mercury Witch with Suletta and Miorine, and obviously at my office I do have the figures of Miorine and Suletta. I'm here at home, but actually when I bought the power figure, I think it was, then I also bought those figures at the same time. I think, yeah, I think so, or maybe that figure actually. And actually, I bought all those 4 figures at the same time. Yeah, I bought both Power, Maki, and Suletta Miorine on the same time. Like all 4 of them for the same place. So a little, it's called, a little, what's it called? Discount, yeah, budget, budget deal. Yeah, but actually pretty common. A lot of figures that I buy them like on eBay and so on, right? And are pretty common, of course, setting, so you get, like a $5-10 cheaper, right? If you buy like both the figures from the same set or whatever. So of course I bought both Miorine and Suletta, right? I got like a discount on it. It's like I bought all the 3 girls in Big Komachi a few months ago. Yeah, like in Christmas I bought Ruby and so on, right? I bought all the girls from the idol group, of course, Big Komachi. I bought all 3 of them at the same time, right? Discount. But whatever, I digress. So I really like the anime. If I buy a figure, obviously I like it, I didn't buy this Nesca figure because I dislike Demon Slayer, you know what I mean? Let's stand here then. But, yeah, like, no, obviously. So it's like, I really love Mercury Witch. Now, I kind of bring it up in this way, though, because I'm not saying I think this anime is going to be bad, at my point. But it is, of course, different, though, with Gundam, right? So we have Gundam. It is, of course, a different thing in the sense that, yes, it's obviously going to have a lot of the Gundam elements, not just the Gundams, like there are actually mobile suit to fight in, whatever, but, it's going to be political, right? People probably will die, so, it's going to be sci-fi, so, etc. So you have all the elements, the main of Gundam here, clearly, but I do think, fair to be say, that the Gundam aren't equally good. You know what I mean? Because of course there usually are a few years in between each season, right? And they might be written by different people. They're not based on like this is original anime, not based on the manga, blah blah blah. So I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but I'm just saying that I don't think it's gonna be kind of the same thing as the last one, so to speak. It's gonna be similar, but not be the same, right? So it's also different with franchises kind of like that, right? Where in most animes, where actually I think I think about it because in Western style, America and Europe, this is actually how we usually have it, right? We have a bunch of franchises and we do other stuff, and it's kind of connected, but not really, so to speak, right? But I think in anime, it tends to be much more linear, so to speak, where a spin-off like the Magritte one will be taking place directly, kind of at the same time with some overlapping characters, like Midnight will be there and so on, right? And it's gonna be like the same kind of storytelling, right? With half the cast basically being, just new guys, but also old guys, right? Or of course, the sequel is just straight up season 3 or 4, whatever, right? So I think this actually is more rare. I would say in Japan, or at least in anime, to have this kind of thing, where you have like, oh, here's another season of Gundam, but it's all new characters, and yeah, well, not all new then. It's like alternate universe, but still, but the main character is new, right, and so forth. Yeah, so it's like completely, distant in that sense. So it's interesting, but maybe that's why it's so low down here. This is popularity race though. But I really like Gundam. I'm definitely gonna watch it. It was really well written. The last one, I think, was one of the best anime in a few years. Mercury Wish was extremely well written. The only thing I didn't like was the ending. Not because I did think the ending was like bad. It was more like, I don't want to spoil it now. They're saying the ending was bad. I don't think the ending was bad at all. I just felt that they defeated the main antagonist too easily. That'd be like my only complaint, I guess. I had two complaints, I suppose. I also wanted, of course, the two main characters to like officially have like a wedding. Yeah, that's actually probably again like the ending. Yeah, that episode. I really hope they have like a wedding, right? No, it's like okay, they have kids now, but it's kind of like this is like a minor spoiler, but it basically ends with them kind of like they have kids now or something. The main characters, yeah, they have like 3 kids now or something. It's like 10 years in the future, something like that. But it's like okay, they but I just want to have like a wedding scene, I remember I wrote like a long text about it on Reddit. I could play like a long like 2 pages text. I was like, "Where's my goddamn wedding?" No, but I was like, "Yeah, I wanted to have like a little bit like a." I think that would be like a nice ending to it, like we see them in the church or something, kissing or something. I don't know. Yeah, it would be a nice like a visual ending there, but no, didn't get that. And then also I think again they kind of defeated the main baddie a little too easy. I felt. It was kind of like Power of Love or something. We win. Yeah, it's a little bit like that in the last episode. So it felt kind of rushed, Yeah, honestly, like I said, I think that Mercury was a really good anime, and my only real complaint is probably seriously the final episode, because it feels just rushed. It feels like it should have been one more episode. Yeah, like one more episode, longer battle, more conclusive, and then a wedding, something else. Yeah, something more than that. So otherwise, so it's like a strong 9 for me probably. Gundam. It wasn't like perfect, but it was like a strong 9.5. Yeah, I don't want to give it a 10 because it's like no, but 9.5. But again, the ending is not like Attack on Titan. It's not like an ending or like Promised Neverland or something. The ending wasn't like, oh, I see, I want to die now. No, the ending was just like slightly off what I wanted. I wanted to have a wedding. Okay, I didn't get the wedding. I wanted to have the bad guy maybe a little more screen time for the main baddie in the final episode. Okay, they lost maybe too quickly. I don't know, I'm ranting now, but I don't know, but I feel like, I suppose, I think about it, I just feel like these days, when people say that I didn't like the ending of an anime, right? You kind of referring to Attack on Titan or like Fina or again Promised Neverland or whatever. You refer to animes to have like absolute shit anime endings, right? So I think it's strange now because now when I say I liked the anime, but I didn't really, I think the ending was kind of weak, People are thinking that I'm measuring it something like that, right? Oh, it's a serious ending, yeah. So either you have to say that you like the ending, or pretend it was perfect. I don't know, but even point. It's kind of like polarizing, I feel, these days, because of I think some of the really, really terrible endings have made people kind of go over, so to speak. So when you tell them you didn't like the ending, they think you mean like, oh, like this ending? No, I mean like, it wasn't perfect. Yeah, I was like, no. But anyway, decent like fighting anime. I don't care. Conan, of course, goes on forever. Ninjas at school or something. Who cares? This anime actually I think is really cool. Okay, this anime I'm waiting for. This anime I actually think was pretty decent. Rock lady. So it's like a rich lady girls going to school. But actually, so I was sitting at the office, right, and we were bored. We actually had like a, oh my god, okay, don't tell my boss, but we had like a 3 hour, I think it was 3.5, oh my god, of this like really boring meeting last Friday. It's like everyone at the whole company has to go there. It's like 1,000 people there, and you're like, this is super boring. And there's some, consult there talking about the value of, I don't know, life or something. I don't know, it's super weird. But just before that, we were waiting to go to this like 3.5 hour lecture about the pronouns, basically. Me and my coworker, the guy I have office with, we checked out this trailer actually. And we were both just laughing. We were both crying, laughing at it. We were both like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing!" So then we kind of got hyped up. Then we got to this like 3 hour meeting. Like, yeah, we were like, all our life force was like put out of us. But actually, so we checked out this trailer, guys. I'm gonna show you this right here because I actually, when we got to this scene here, I was like, you know what? This is actually pretty cool, actually. Yeah. I don't want to get copyright now, so we're gonna be a little short here, but yeah, point. So they start fighting here, the girls. Yeah, they're like, "F you!" They have this like rock girls. They actually have like really cool faces, and I know it's like CGI or whatever, I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's like some weird CGI things when they're playing music, but actually we were both like laughing like crazy. We see their like sweaty like hentai faces when they're yeah, she look at her face here. She's playing music. She's like, yeah, it's like she's getting off, man. Yeah, like they have this like the intercourse music. Yeah, seriously, this character's face, man. This is why we kept laughing because yeah, she looks like she's having sex. Jesus Christ, she's playing like the guitar or something. No, drums. She's playing drums. She's playing the drums, and it's like she's getting off on the drums, man. That beat, But actually, I think that was hilarious. They're jumping in the bathroom there. So, and I guess they're also gonna be lesbians. Yeah, there's like all girls schools, and I think they're gonna fall in love with each other. First they hate each other, right? Some of them being like "F you," I hate you, and then they have this like battle or something. But actually, that looks really hilarious. Like it's so weird CGI, and every character when they're playing music is like Soma, right? They're having it's like musical Soma. They're all having like getting off. They're like, "Oh yeah, music!" Yeah. They're playing so hard. They're like, they're getting happy endings by playing their music there. I think it looks hilarious, seriously. It looks really, really fun. But, yeah, go back to it here. So, rock ladies. And it is probably Yuri, seriously. It is. I think it's gonna be Yuri. I mean, I see the trailers, I think it's gonna be Yuri because it's gonna be this like weird hinting Yuri lines, right? Because everyone's a girl, there's no boys in the whole anime. It's like a bunch of like, chicks playing like really rough music each other. And they're all like rich girls and hate each other, and they're all like sundras, like sorry, yeah, it's like 4 sundras. It's like "F you," and then actually like, "Oh yeah, you're pretty hot though. We play music. Oh yeah." Come on, they're gonna like, the passion. It's gonna be like really weird, and then some weird CGI. I don't care, man. Pokemon is always airing. Uma Musume. It's a great anime. This is like probably the best animated anime. It's gonna be the best animated. I seen the 1 2, of course. It's about horse girl running, and also our idol girl. It's adorable. It's super anime. Oh, Guilty Gear is coming too. Guilty Gear, baby. Obviously, Bridget, best girl. Look at that. That's my Bridget. She's the best girl, man. I got my bike in, my wall over there. Right? I got my bike over there. Oh yeah, Yakko. I'm gonna get some Yakko style in it. Oh man, Yakko style. Oh, and this is there too. Oh yeah. So obviously, I love Guilty Gear. Right? I played the game for so many years. I used to be the highest ranked player in my country when the Strive was out. I was like, I was genuinely, I believe, for a few weeks at least, the highest ranked player in Swedish player in the world. Yeah. I, of course, play XLO, right? And I was very, very high ranked the first few months there when the game was out. And I was the highest ranked XLO in Europe, all European players, for like 6 months, maybe that. Something like that. And actually, the reason side note here. The reason I stopped being at the highest rank XLO or whatever was because I, lost or whatever. Now I just got bored of the game. It wasn't because I was like, oh no, I lost my power. No, it was more like, I was bored, You play the game for a few months. I really enjoyed it, but eventually I was like, some other game dropped that I swapped to, and then eventually, my points, my ranking fell off, right? So I didn't stay with it. Obviously, I have my stick behind me here, So, got my arcade stick here, right? My own made leverless design stick. But so I played a lot of that. I did play with a lot of that one. But anyway, I really like fighting games, right? If you see my older videos, my gaming stuff on the channel, I talk a lot about Street Fighter and so forth, right? There's some tier lists for that, etc. Made a video about my Bison guide video a few months ago. So that's how I play. I'm like the highest ranked Bison, I think, right now. In Sweden, at least. Yeah, definitely. I think so, by Swedes. Actually, I don't know a single other person from Sweden that has. There's one guy that is higher ranked than me in total, but as the character, he doesn't play with Bison, so I think I am pretty sure I'm generally the highest ranked of Bison right now, but in Sweden. But I haven't played like ranked in a while though. I just kind of play an hour casual like once a day, so kind of get rusty. But last year when he was released, then I played a lot. Yeah, for the first month or so. Also, Bison was released like perfectly during my vacation last year, right? So I spent like 2 weeks just playing Bison like 5 hours per day. just crammed up the master rank, just got up there, cross people, yeah. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, I like fighting games, to my point, but I like fighting games, and Guilty Gear is one of my favorites. It is probably after Street Fighter. Well, actually, for a long time I enjoyed playing Guilty Gear more Street Fighter, but not the current Guilty Gear though. I'm talking about the older ones. So I'm an old, nerd man, right? I kind of liked it a little harder because the new Guilty Gear is easy to play, absolutely. Yeah, people keep saying that. It's very, very true. The new Guilty Gear is more limited. I still like it. Don't get me wrong. I still played it a lot. I played it for 100 hours or whatever. I still enjoyed it, but yeah, the combos are simpler and so forth, right? In the new one, definitely, and that's probably why I dropped it because. I mean, honestly, I really like Guilty Gear, but the thing is that Guilty Gear is an anime fighter. Usually what you call it, anime or extreme fighters. That's a word I heard sometimes back in the days. But these days they just call it anime fighters. So Guilty Gear, very anime fighter, right? But by reducing like the combos, by reducing the tempos of the game or the length of the combos or complicated strings or block strings or all that stuff, right? By reducing that, making it more user-friendly, easier to play, so forth, that's complicated, you are obviously probably getting more players to some extent, because you're getting closer to Street Fighter and Tekken and so on, right? But to me, comment here, it loses its charm a bit. It loses a little bit of what makes it unique, right? By making an anime fighter less anime, why don't I just play Street Fighter instead, you know what I mean? So I think this game is a great game. Don't get me wrong, I think one of the best games ever done in fighting games. But it certainly felt like by, again, getting closer to the more, so to speak, slower fighting games, whatever you call it, right, I felt like it lost a bit of its identity. Last year, I also bought all the, I was calling it Grand Blue, all DLC, played that for a while as well. That was the same time I played Bison, because I played a little bit of the Grand Blue, and then I bought all the DLC characters, and I kept playing them for the same vacation last year. The game is good too, but I like Guilty Gear more definitely in that game. But it's just kind of fun sometimes to swap, games to get some other characters, get some feel to it, right? They're also very similar, and of course I just played Dragon Fighters a lot, of course, so forth, right? But anyway, a long fight at this point here. So I really like this game. I will definitely watch the anime, but I have no idea of like, is it good or not. But like I said, my point is that, the cast are very likable. Obviously, XLO is the best character, British best girl and whatnot, right? But there's a lot of really funny characters. The style of this game has always been really, really strong, right? And the characters are crazy, like Jacko O-Pose or whatever, right? They have a lot of like powerful teams going on there, great music in the game and so on. So I think the anime might be, I've definitely will probably very much enjoy the anime personally, right? Having seen this character, having seen the cutscenes, And also, I mean, I read and I played all the story modes, so I kind of know the storyline already. But I definitely enjoy it. Now, should you watch it? Like, you listen to me here. Probably not if you're into the anime. Yeah, I very much doubt that this anime will be a good anime if you're into the games, right? Yeah, very unlikely. It depends on how they do it. But given that it clearly has the Strive characters, what I mean with that is that Guilty Gear has, of course, a bunch of characters, like I said, right? Swapping between the games, and the storyline. Then, I'm guessing here, before the trailer so on, the storyline definitely is about Strive, the latest game, right? And that's not where the game starts. You know what I mean? It's like 10 different storylines, so 10 different. I mean, it's more than 10 Guilty Gear games, but they have like DLCs or whatnot. So, or like expansion pack basically. But anyway, so what I mean is that you obviously have a main story, right? That starts way before this game. So that to me looks really strange. Like it might be really hard to understand the storyline if they're assuming you played the other 9 games. So I guess we're gonna have a very shallow storyline when you just fight all the time. Yeah, instead probably. But whatever. I look forward to it. This is like hot chick being cool or something. Yeah, hotel anime. Oh yeah, Anne Shirley is an old book. Anime based on an old novel. I'm assuming that they can do that. This is an actual like Anne Shirley is like an old like a famous novel. But I think that one is probably isn't copyright anymore. I'm guessing here for this anime or novel so on because it's Anne Shirley I think was released in like 1905 or something. So I guess it's like 100 years, then you lose copyright protection, I guess. So I think this anime is based straight up on that book. I'm pretty sure it is. I think the anime is just, it's a novel, yeah. I think this anime is like straight up just animation of that classic book, of this girl. And there's a bunch of movies about the thing. So you can not 8, okay, not 8. But I was close. Yeah, I was sure it was like in the early 90s. And you can find other movies and so on with Anne Shirley. So this anime basically is just like an anime version of this movies or whatnot, right? I guess because they're probably gonna follow, of course. He's like an old movie released like back in the past. The live action. Exactly, the live action. There's already a live action of this anime. Yeah, there's already been a live action. But I get my point. I think the anime will probably pretty strictly follow the storyline of Anne Shirley. So it's that old book. I read it in like high school. It's like a classic book. But yeah, 1908. So I'm pretty sure that they can just take the whole storyline without paying anyone because isn't copyright 100 years in America. It should be at least. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure that copyright is like the Mickey Mouse, right? Copyright goes out after 100 years. Anyway, next anime. This looks pretty fun. Or actually, I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. But it looks kind of stupid. So there's like ballpark hot chick, right? So basically, it's an anime about a guy. See him? He's like the tiny guy to the left there. He has a hard job. He hates his life. It's the classic thing, right? Oh, overworked. I'm Japanese man, right? And then he's gonna go to the ballpark or like the baseball stadium, right? And then obviously this hot chick guy, right? This like Mary lookalike is gonna work there and be like, hi cutie, you want some? Right? This is the whole anime. The whole anime. This is him flirting with like a hot guy chick. Like this is the whole anime. It's like this is the perfect anime for me. This is so silly. This is like God, man. The whole anime is a guy that like falls in love with a hot chick that works there. So he keeps going there every day because he wants to smash her. That's like the whole anime. Yeah, the whole anime is him sitting there being like, man, this chick is hot. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want to tap that. They can find it in the trailers. I love it, man. Here it is. Yeah, I wanna be positive and yeah, it's just like he sees this, this is like the most sad, funny Japanese thing ever. I'm sorry, but it is. The anime is about a guy again, right? That goes to the stadium, the ballpark of baseball, and at that place, this like hot guy chick works there. Looks like Maren, right? And she's super hot and positive, and so nice to him. He was selling beer. He's like, oh my god, oh, she's so nice to me. And he falls in love with her. He wants to be like her, positive and funny and so on, right? He's obviously a simp then. And now he's gonna keep going there every day to talk to this hot chick, right? Because he wants to smash her. The whole anime is about him. He's trying to like sleep with the woman that works there. He's like so incest into this thing, and she's just like tries to make money by selling him stuff, you know. He's just like ultimate simp, man. The whole anime is about him going to this place and being like, take my money, please take my money. It's so weird. It's so weird. And like, he hates his life, right? He hates his life. He hates going to work. And his only time he's happy is when he can talk to this like woman that sells him stuff. And she's does it for the money, right? She's just like, she wants his $10, right? And he goes there and he's like, oh yeah, I can't stop going there. She's so hot. Yeah, it's like, oh look at, yeah, it's like, oh look at the tits. Yeah. You know, and yeah, she's so hot. She's so cool and positive and so on. She's basically as good at the job. But this in here, I guess, kind of captured it, and she looks angry at him. So I mean, I get it. I get it. She's obviously like some kind of, again, she's obviously a guy or a Yankee kind of woman, right? So she, of course, she's like a fang. And she's like, hey, bruh. So, of course, she's also kind of like an aggressive woman, right? Of course, she's like she's obviously like a mix with a Yankee guy, right? Because she got the earrings, she got the fang, got the blonde, chic hair, and, you know, so she's like some mix of that. So, obviously, she's like, hey, shut up. And she's obviously very extrovert and very outgoing, right? He's like a shy simp guy, so she's like his opposite, yeah. She's obviously the, she's hot and he's cold and, you know, all that stuff, right? But, yeah, of course, he falls in love with her and he keeps going there and tries to, you know, sleep with her or whatever. And there's a bunch of other characters there too, I guess. Like the mascot or whatever. But yeah, like the whole anime is about her being attractive and him being like, oh, well, I need to smash that. The whole anime is just him being a Jesus Christ. It is, seriously. And I mean, I'm sure she's gonna be a genuinely nice person, don't get me wrong. Of course I'm joking. She always is a genuinely nice person, but she still is going there, right? Because, you know, he's just going there because, you know, she's being nice because it's her job to be nice, you know what I mean? It's her job to be nice and be attractive. It's a part of her job, right? But he's gonna be like, oh, does it for me? She does it only for me. Yeah, like, look at this in here. He goes to her at the counter. She's like, oh yeah, you want to buy something? It's just, God, it's so cringe. The whole anime is just him going like, oh yeah, I need to buy stuff from this hot chick. That being said though, it is some kind of romance drama, I guess. Right? Because in the trailer there's also another woman, like this woman here, right? This like brunette with big tits. Yeah, she's also in the anime, so and she looks very excited. She's actually this woman here, I'm gonna guess, is actually really into baseball, right? Yeah. She's gonna be that woman he meets every episode, and you know, he actually just really enjoys the actual sport. And he's just there because he's like, I don't know, he's like hates his life or something. He's wants to sleep with the hot blonde chick, right? And then of course this woman there is gonna be there as well. They're gonna meet every now and then because she's there every day because she's obsessed with sport, right? And then he probably gonna like her too. And they're gonna, and she, I guess she's gonna be the one explaining to him the rules, you know. He's gonna be kind of like, oh, I gotta get it, you know. She's gonna explain to him the strategies, and she's gonna be the one gonna tell him how baseball works or whatever. I mean, in a deeper level, right? And she's gonna be hot too, though. She's very excited, she's very big tits, you know. He's gonna like her too. It's a bit of, you know, triangle drama there, probably. And then there's a bunch of other, and sure, there's a bunch of other characters too, of course. So it's a little bit joke, like, this is the announcer girl, I guess. Yeah, she's like shy or something. So it isn't just purely about those two characters, but mostly it's like a simp guy that has fallen in love with like the woman that works there. Mostly, yeah. But of course there's some co-workers, like, and the woman will be too afraid to talk in the microphone or something. Cute girl that probably shouldn't be an announcer or something. And then it's like fat kid or something. Like, seriously, this kid looks really unhealthy, man. Yeah, he got like, this is like, whoa. But yeah, previous memories, whatever it is. And obviously this woman here, I guess, will grow up and have giant tits or whatever. Yeah, she grew up and have gigantic bosoms. Like, look at her body, man. Like, 20 years from now, in the next episode, she's gonna be like 10 times bigger and have massive jugs or something. It's gonna be ridiculous. It's like, you see anime. Like, seriously. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. I think it is for this season. There are, of course, some other animes coming out, but they're all like children's shows. Maybe I missed something, but I don't think so. I'm doing a quick check here. These are more like weird animes coming, like wrestling girls, something like that. Yeah, this looks pretty. This might be interesting. It's like some weird looking, like, but it looks really low quality. This is like very low budget, but yeah, it's some very low budget shows that might be interesting as well. But I think we kind of covered all the animes for this season. What more is it? No, that's it. Okay. So just to quickly recap that, and then we go into also OVAs and movies shortly. But to recap, right? One Piece is back, and it might be the best season ever. One Piece, then, right? Hopefully. I have my doubts, but hopefully. One Piece is back. Do not miss out on Fire Force. I actually think Fire Force 2 is really, really good. People are sleeping over it because of the, fan service. Cat girl naked all the time. But actually, it's a really good anime. I really recommend it. Actually, I'm very hyped for the 3 there. Definitely. Then, for me, it, of course, is this weird ecchi anime, right? With time-traveling Panzer Girl. It might be interesting. But I'm definitely even more interested in, of course, Yandere Dark Elf. That looks super hot, that she's crazy. She follows her man to Earth, and she wants to, like, force him to be her husband. That anime looks really fantastic. And for total, trash value, obviously, incest. Rent a Girlfriend's new anime about 5 sisters and a brother. Yeah, obviously that's gonna be the best new anime. Like, that is an absolute bottom trash. And lastly, right, I'm saying before, My Academia, of course. My Academia spin-offs anime looks pretty interesting. So extend the lore, the universe of My Academia. Midnight Sense is gonna have a hot new outfit. This to me looks really, really good. And I guess lastly, also Gundam then, of course. So come out as well, right? Where, Gundam, I watched like 10 Gundams. And of course, lastly then, in total, Gundam. That's kind of, I think, the top animes next season. Obviously, the family anime, I'm just like, it's top bad. But I mean, seriously though, right? That trash anime, like Rent a Girlfriend, 5 sisters, and so on. I mean, yeah, that anime is gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me, because I'm gonna laugh at every scene, right? Every scene when he's like, mom is like, oh no, honey, I'm stuck in the laundry machine again. I'm just gonna laugh at it. It's gonna be hilarious. It's like a hentai with jokes, basically. It's gonna be hilariously bad. So I actually kind of want to watch it seriously because it's gonna be hilarious. In like it's so funny, it's bad, right? Yeah. Anyway, lastly, some movies. So, is there any good movies that's coming out? Batman's out, but that was a terrible movie. Prince of the 4. I don't think there's any new. Oh yeah, this anime has a movie. This anime was so boring. There's a new anime. Jesus Christ, man. So this is an anime about cute girls on pottering, and I do like cute girl done stuff. Cute girl done wood shopping, cute girl gone fishing, cute girl gone camping. But I actually did not really like this anime, Cute Girl Gone Pottering. It wasn't that interesting. I don't think the characters were that likable, or they were kind of just generic. The personalities weren't that interesting. It's like a bad anime, but I felt it was very mid, aggressively mid, and also has some weird live stuff going on as well. But ignoring that. So, okay, since now, I was like, how can you say that movie? Because this anime was not that popular. Okay, no, the movie is just like some kind of weird, I guess like a recompilation remake of the season, okay? It's one of those things. Yeah, like all the movies are basically that these days. It's kind of sad, honestly. Except TV Kaisen, almost every movie that I see listed here are all basically like compilation or like reworks of. Yeah, there's not a single new anime here except the children movies. Quarters on Pokemon, whatever. But like no, there was like all the movies coming are basically like, oh, this is like a recompilation. Same thing here. This is like just kind of like compilation, right? These are just basically the young Goryeo episode storyline as a movie, right? Which actually I would definitely watch those. I love Isekai. Think that's a great backstory, and the movie obviously have like better, new key animation or whatever, better quality. So I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I wish they made more movies, not just these like compilations. The only new movie is I guess Batman, arguably, that's out like last week. But yeah, it's the first Batman Ninja was so bad. The first Batman Ninja movie was like seriously 1 of 10. It was terrible. I haven't seen that movie yet, but it was so bad. Konosuba is out on theaters. I think it's out next month. Fortunately, I won't be home that day. Maybe I don't know, but it's I haven't had time to go to theaters, so I'm waiting for the DVD release. If I have time, because I think that I won't have time that week actually, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like an OVA, 2 episodes of Konosuba, beach episodes, looks amazing. Yeah, explosive red stream, it's gonna be badass. Legos Recoil, that's a really good anime. So this to me sounds really promising too. I definitely want to see this thing. Something is more just slice of life now. So less action and probably it's more the girls working at the restaurant, whatever it is, tea house, whatever they have. But yeah, really good anime, very Yuri. But yeah, I think it's one of the best like Yuri girl animes that I've ever seen. Very very good anime. So this is like a I think it's like a more comedic, less action packed, but still, I actually really want to see that. So that's gonna be great probably. This is like a what's it called, like a whatever his name, little 2-minute side story or whatever, right? Somewhat good. I don't think there are any. Oh, yeah, this I might see actually. Is there anything new here? Oh yeah, some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Oh yeah, this thing. Okay, lastly, let's end the video with the thing perfectly. One Piece is gonna have actually coming out in 2 days from now, right? The 1st of April. That should be like, yeah, almost exactly 2 days. Almost exactly on the minute. Yeah, almost exactly 2 days there. This to me is really strange. Actually, my coworker, I thought earlier I had to ask him though, because he read it. He's read the manga. I haven't actually read the manga. Usually, I feel like I read everything with One Piece, right? But I had to ask him, and he read the Japanese, the original manga, and I was like, well, what is it about, right? I don't get it. These are like the weirdest side stuff ever, because basically, this is it's super meta, okay? So the One Piece or the One Pass love thing are basically about a bunch of people that are into One Piece. So it's a super meta thing where they themselves like to read One Piece and discuss One Piece, like we all do, and then they happen to have similar name to the One Piece characters. Like some guy is named like Luffy Taro or whatever. I say, oh yeah, well, Luffy guy. And then they have this romance because, they're hanging out, right? Reading One Piece together. And they're like dating or something, or try to dating or whatever. So it's like this really weird, like it is really, really weird anime. And it's actually, I think, more than one episode. Yeah, it's like, but he read the whole manga, my friend, and he explained to me like, yeah, it's like decent. Like, it sounds really weird to me that they're doing this thing, because I think what we all, of course, are asking and begging for, right, is to do this. Obviously, the cup noodle thing, right, which is so good when everyone hangs out at school, right? It doesn't have to be that quality. Obviously, the cup noodle commercials are much higher, like paid per second per frame, because it's like a giant commercial thing. But I think the problem is that it's just so obvious how that would be like a great, like a spin-off filler thing to One Piece, right? Without having actual real storylines. I mean, like, just put the characters right in school, like in that commercial thing. Obviously, the anime can be way worse, but just have them do jokes, like Nami going to work at Arlong's restaurant, or something. Yeah, just have them do that stuff. Vivi and Nami hang out, whatever. Yeah, it's just it would be watched by millions of people. I watch definitely. I don't understand why you just can't do that. This is an obvious, super easy, like One Piece at school, Yeah, like whatever. It can be something else, but I think it'd be an easy way to do it too, because a lot of people, of course, want to see like a One Piece spin-off in the actual One Piece universe, but that Oda might be like, oh, that will spoil it, that we can have, it's gonna be much harder, right? But if you do like a One Piece spin-off, so to speak, like the characters in like an alternative universe, which is mostly used like a comedy, that it would be super good. It'd be so easy. This thing here is kind of doing that, but it seems so meta to me. Instead of having the actual characters, or just like characters kind of acting like them in this weird way. I don't know. I am actually very weird. I think it's very weird that this is what they're doing. Instead of just someone writing that, like, Doshini, basically. But anyway, guys, for the video, subscribe, press the like button, right? And I'll see you guys with Rent a Girlfriend soon coming up after this. We're going to have the final episode of that. And then, of course, next week we're going to have new animes. This is actually one of the first new animes coming out then. Actually, it might be the first anime that I'm going to react and review then. I have to obviously review this anime, yeah, of course. It's coming April 1st here, so actually it might be the first one I'm looking at. I guess so, right? Then, of course, I am excited for One Piece new opening as well. The opening was very good. The old opening for Egghead Island Part 1 was very, very good. So I would love to see what they do with the next opening. The opening the animation was so on point, yeah. But yeah, actually this might be the first team we're reviewing next week, guys. Hope to see you guys there, because this will be a head scratch certainly. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, right, it's a comedy anime first and foremost. So it depends on the comedy jokes. You know, one thing, let's just say it here, I guess one thing this anime might do is that it might be very like anime, like, you know, reference joking. Given it's based on them all being One Piece fans, it's gonna be a lot of like One Piece joke references. Then this anime might be funny, so to speak, but it'd be very hard to watch it unless you're a One Piece fan. But I guess why would you watch otherwise? I don't know. But it probably will have like, a lot of fans because it's a One Piece meta thing. So, yeah, I think this will be the first review next week, guys. One Piece spin-off. That's something else I forgot to start airing. Well, actually, it might be more than one anime airing on 1st of April, though. It's probably more than one anime coming the first day. Let's just see. And then I see guys who let's see here lastly. You can order this list somewhere. Let's see here. That's what I see. Oh, there's actually one anime coming in an hour, actually. That looks really bad. Yeah, I don't care about that. And the demon. It's one day to that. Demon Slayer. Oh yeah, Ballpark is coming in the same day. Okay, yeah. So, So the same day we're gonna have that simp anime with hot Gyro chick at the Ballpark is coming the same day as One Piece. Like an hour after One Piece. I actually probably kind of want to look at that as well.